Hello there. Yes, I said that to myself first because it's surprising to see on camera. It's surprising to see another human face, which is my own. So, I was inspired by my brother today. By my youngest brother. He is 8. Yes, it feels really good to take a moment to know that. We watch an adventure show called I don't know. Craig and the Creek. Adventures at the Creek. So, recently I've stopped talking to people because I've kind of wanted to, survival state, go back to me. Even though I love talking to people, and I will end up loving everything that they say to some extent. And I was really inspired. I was wondering, how do you get to know someone? How does that happen? Some people will start off slow and, they'll say their opinions. And, like, say your friend says, "Oh, you're going to the mall." I'm going to the mall. And that person responds with, "Oh, mall ninja." Small things, small understandings, and just keep going back and forth with the understandings. Sometimes this infuriates me because I want to know who they are, because that's the best part about friendship, is knowing who someone is. So I started sketching. We were playing today, my brother and I. He inspires me when I see his face. I light up, and I'm sure that's happened to other people too. Even if you don't necessarily want to ignore. Is it okay? The screen froze, so I thought I was done for. So, so everything he says, I take seriously, because I want to say something back. He says anything to me, and it will light my brain up. My focus, my heart, everything. I'm ready to, love him as best I can. Which is not what I expect to say. So I was in the emotional state of mind. I grabbed a piece of paper, which I'd like to call 18th century automatically. I mean, 18th century all the way up to 2020. And I wrote "grr." So that's how that started out. And I started drawing people. I was reading about different personality types, because even though I'd like to think that I can meet someone and figure out who they are, just reading that, I feel like it's important to read from them on Quora. And one thing that it said, that someone didn't want a certain personality type, that they didn't want you to see was you didn't want to see them cry. And I thought that was noble of them, and kind of adventurous of them too. I feel like it's a very adventurous personality, to not want someone to see you cry is like, I think that there could be a balance to that. When you're crying, you might tell yourself it's okay, or you might tell yourself it's not okay, and knowing that you don't want someone else to see you cry. You don't want to break down in front of someone. That seems very adventurous to me, because you take yourself seriously. And so I thought, well, if you're taking yourself seriously, I might as well draw that. So I draw, a heart, a flower, because I'm in that emotional 8-year-old mood, which is perfect to go through. And I love drawing messy things. I don't know if you could see it. You cannot. I draw that, right? I drew the word cry, and then drew a person crying, and I'm kind of proud of my eyeballs, because I don't usually draw great eyeballs, even though drawing horribly is such a wonderful gift. And then I drew a friend who I thought of talking to, but when I think of talking to this person, I just want to shout out that they're such a light. But I also think about, if I shout out at them, I don't know exactly who they are at the same time, because kind of going through this stigmatization of, be prepared to not do the things you want to be doing. Be prepared to have normal conversations, even though I feel like this person, now that I'm saying it out loud, would appreciate me shouting out, "You're a light." But I'm scared that that's kind of like where it would end. But I think that also my smarts is like, no, Summer, that's where you would have to continue the conversation. Anyways, I'm doing this video because I wrote something that I'm really proud of. And I write things that I'm really proud of before. But I don't share them. And I know that there are wonderful people out there. Well, everyone is a wonderful person. I mean, even if you're a terrible person, come on. We all know you've got hearts. So, I was thinking about, well, I held up the emotion of what it felt like to tell yourself, I am alone in the world. And that made me want to draw grass, because, really tall grass, because in the middle of that grass you have something beautiful. You have buzzes of exceptionality. Not a word. But to feel like you're alone in the world, but still feel like yourself, because you're made up of so much. And I know I've met some people who will not say this, but they are. They're made up of a million great things. No matter how terrible you have grown yourself and kept becoming and being. Because each person is different when you see them. And so Yeah, I felt like the opposite of feeling like you're alone in the world and dealing with that is a large piece of grass. And I'm going to pause this video for a moment. I think, maybe not. No. Are you cold?
No, I'm fine.
Is Brayden cold?
Brayden's asleep.
Did you dream anything recently?
I'm sorry?
Did you dream anything recently again?
Oh. I mean, not that my record.
Yeah.
I told you I don't really remember.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm missing a dream too. I think 2 days ago, had a dream. Remember, forgot about it. It's gone.
If I dream, I miss almost, probably I miss hundreds.
Now I have something to do. Or maybe we could both do it. We could learn hypnosis.
No, I'm good.
You're learning physics, you might as well learn hypnosis. No, it's not. I mean, in the middle of physics, you've got some hypnosis. Logically speaking, that's what people do. They have physics, and then they also have hypnosis.
There's no logic there. But nonetheless.
Okay, so I'm gonna read it now. Alone, comma. We are many animals. Because everyone's different, and if someone was standing on a bridge and you wanted to ask them, you feel alone, but do you feel like if you were to comfort them, like some people, they would be comforted by a squirmy squid. I was comforted by the opposite of my feeling. I told myself I am a lion, and for a second I thought, well, I'm not gonna say that I'm a lion. I don't care about myself, I care about other people. I was just gonna say we are many animals, but then I thought it's important that you make your distinction, your own. I have to add my own. So I said, I'm a lion. Which reminds me of Lawrence Middle School High. Which is my home. Crying happiness. Which is something I do. At my 18th century paper and computer, I exploded. Food or my negative coworkers. Ew, is that your sunshine trying to make puffy, nice, talk humans? Reckless blush. And when I think about reckless blush, I think about, is that what I'm going to say to my children? It's going to be one of those comments. My fur doesn't need to be tall. It wanders so far that it escalates into the palm of my hand, so that you may see me jump 2 times the size of your growing eyeballs. And when I was laughing at reckless blush, I imagined or felt and imagined a lemur jumping up, and I saw the hair stick out. That's how I felt. That safety of knowing that the hairs are sticking out and growing and you can see it grow. That emotion of when you pop up and you're like, whoa, I can't believe I just popped up, because you really feel it. You feel safe because you have that wonky ground and fur. So I said it doesn't need to be tall. Which reminds me of second grade. And how you learn how wiggly people are in history. I hope that makes sense to you. I know it doesn't. I don't know how you're hearing this. To some it may not seem mature. But to me I think it's gotta be mature. And it wanders so far that it escalates into the palm of my hand. It will meet another person. There's someone else around. And you open up your palm, and I carried out this story a little differently. Talking about the fur, I wanted to mention other people because I was inspired by a storyteller in a movie. If any of you have ever seen the movie where there's a woman who owns a farm in Africa. That's the movie I'm talking about. And there's a movie about a man in his 30s. He went to jail previously because someone had shot a woman, and it looked like he had done it. That actor, obviously I'm picturing him in my head right now. Not necessarily for everyone, but I don't know. Well, that man, he is in this movie. I don't know if he's a hunter. No, I don't think he's a hunter. He takes care of animals. I have no idea. I think he's a hunter, but he just happens to not kill animals in this movie. And I just realized that you probably can't hear me. But yeah, she was supposedly a great storyteller, and the idea of being a great storyteller, you really want to inspire people. Hence these, so that you may see me jump 2 times the size of your growing eyeballs. And with this I thought about giraffes. Because as a kid you walk up or as a kid I walked up and I could not believe that I was seeing a giraffe. It made me feel, big inside. Walks up. You can hardly believe that you're standing in front of a giant, so you feel giant, but almost textbook giant because you're comparing how you feel strong and how you hope that the giraffe feels strong. And I'm not using the words that I want to use. Words do I want to use? I think we're good. I'm going to continue the story. And yes, your fingernails. They are so gentle. They reverse every moment of stab because they keep moving forward. Simply by being on top of your finger, they keep moving forward. They are so gentle. So sweep me off with your diving dust. It looks peckish, enough to trust it. It won't poison our afternoon blemishes, since we've swept the door in both our and the dust attitude. Which is how I feel when sometimes, on certain days, at certain moments in my life, I've walked into a grocery store and felt like this. And that's the end of the story. That's not exactly how I felt on the inside. Grrr. There you go.